recently Sonicgear sent over their entire series of TWS Earpump earphones for me to review, check out with no kind of strings attached. They didn't pay me to say anything good, they just asked me to put the Lazada link down in the description. So if you want to buy these earphones, you like what you see, they'll all be linked down there. Now, I will be reviewing every single earphone on this series individually, so subscribe if you want to see that. They will be coming out in the following weeks. But for this video, we're just going to do a general comparison so you can know the rough differences of these earphones without my personal opinions. These are just the differences from a technical, objective standpoint. Now, before I start the full comparison, if you have any questions you want to ask about the specifics of any earphones, you can message me, linked in the description. Discord, Instagram, Twitter, best places to reach me. I reply almost instantly. So let's start off with the comparison, and I want to start off with the differences in price. So the TWS 1, 2, 3 Plus, 5 Pro and 7 Hyperbase are the models that we have here today, and their prices are $30, $40, $80 and $90, as well as $110 respectively. Whether it's worth it and these prices are good for you, that really depends, and I would have more details and more judgment on its value overall in my in-depth reviews. So if there's a particular earphone that you think you like, stay tuned for that review, because that will give you way more information as to its quality and whether it's a good buy for your use and for the price they're selling it at. But I'm going to stick to objective things here, and those are the prices for these earphones. Now that we talked about the price, I actually want to talk about their similarities. First, all these are wireless earphones compatible with pretty much all kind of software. So iOS, Android, Windows, you name it, so long as it's got Bluetooth, these earphones are going to support it. They're all true wireless earphones that are true wireless earbuds and have a plastic charging case. I know some people want the metal or wood or those fancy materials on their earbud charging cases, but for $110 and below, it's really difficult to find anything with that level of build quality, so I'm not judging them for it at all. All of them run and operate very similarly when it comes to charging and connecting to your phone. All you have to do is pull out the earbuds, pair it with your phone, and it connects just like that. And from then on, so long as Bluetooth is on for your phone, it auto connects. It's extremely simple. They turn off once you put the earphones into the case, and they charge once the earbuds are in the case, assuming of course the case still has batteries. Okay, so that's enough for similarities. Let's talk about the differences. First off, I want to talk about charging ports, because to me, I care. So the TWS 2 and the TWS 7 Hyperbase are weirdly the only earphones in these series that charge with USB-C. The TWS 1, the TWS 3 Plus and the TWS 5 Pros all charge off micro USB. I'm not sure whether this is a generational thing, they just send me older models that haven't been updated, or the fact that the models are actually micro USB. Couldn't find any details on their Lazada page, but you just have to be aware that the TWS 1, 3 Plus and 5 Pro are likely to be micro USB. To me, it is important, but I think to a lot of people, they don't really care so long as they get a charging cable in the box, which I forgot to mention, they all do get a single charging cable, which is pretty nice. In terms of battery capacity, the TWS 1 comes in at 330 milliamp hours of the case. The TWS 2 has 340 milliamp hours inside the case. The TWS 3 Plus has 300 milliamp hours. The TWS 5 Pro has 500, and the TWS 7 Hyperbase has 500 in the charging cases. In terms of the earbuds themselves, I think they all have about battery sizes of about 30 to 60 milliamps, and they all manage to last me 4 to 5 hours of use at a medium volume for me. But you have to be aware, the volume of these earphones are actually different when you change the volume slider on your phone. They're actually different depending on device, which I found quite interesting. I'll go into this later, but we'll stick to battery life. Overall, for battery life, I can say that I'm actually quite satisfied with pretty much all of them. Of course, the TWS 3 Plus has the smallest battery, but still lasts a good amount of hours, and it is slightly newer of a device than the 1 and 2, so it's got probably a more efficient Bluetooth system, so it tends to last almost as long as the TWS 2 and 1, even though it has a slightly smaller battery. Life-wise, they're different, but they're all pretty good. And as expected, the 5 and the 7, they last longer because of that bigger charging case battery. In terms of sound drivers, the specs don't really matter when it comes to sound quality, but you have to be aware that they're all single driver earphones, except for the TWS 7 Hyperbase, which is a dual driver design. While dual driver design does not necessarily mean higher quality sound, in this case it is the most priciest, partly because of the dual driver ever designed, and it does actually have the best sound from my initial impressions so far, so I guess you get what you're paying for relative to the rest of the model range. Since we're on the topic of sound quality, in terms of my initial impressions, if I were to rate the sound quality in terms of detail and excitement and stuff with these earphones, I will rate it as TWS 7 first, followed by 5, followed by 2, followed by the 3 Plus, followed by the 1. The 3 Plus seems to sound a bit weaker and less exciting than the 2, and it seems to have less detail than the 2. But I don't know if this is necessarily because it's a worse pair of earphones, or the fact that, you know, the earphones just can't seem to get a good seal and a good fit in my ears because they use the Apple earbuds design of, you know, fitting on the outside of your ear rather than going all the way in with rubber ear tips that I prefer. So this is kind of personal preference. And yes, that's another difference between these earphones. The TWS 1 and the TWS 3 Plus have kind of a earbuds design that sit on the edge of your ear, while the TWS 5, 2, and 7 go all the way in with rubber tips, which might give a better seal, which gives better noise isolation, but at the same time might be quite uncomfortable for people with rather sensitive ears. I know people who prefer the design that blocks out less sound and creates less, you know, isolation because of comfort, and I understand if you prefer the earbud style design. Let's talk about the differences of the controls of all these devices. The TWS 1 and 2 have the same control scheme, while the TWS 3, 5, and 7 have a different control scheme from the TWS 1 and 2, but they're the same among each other. The TWS 1 and 2 are pretty simple to operate. You tap once on the right to increase the volume, you tap once on the left to decrease the volume, you double tap for play and pause controls, and you press and hold on the right side for 1 second, about there, to skip to the next track, while pressing and holding on the left side actually skips to the previous track, it rewinds the track. Pressing and holding the earphones for even longer will turn it off, so there's that. However, for the TWS 3, 5, and 7, they have a more classic orthodox control scheme. One tap is for play and pause on both earphones, double tap is for volume adjustment, with double tap on the right side increasing volume, double tap on the left side decreasing volume. A triple tap skips the song or rewinds the track depending on right or left, just like the 1s and 2s. And then pressing and holding activates the Google Assistant or Siri or whatever you have set out on your phone, and pressing and holding it for a really long time turns it off, just like the TWS 1 and 2. So those are the differences in terms of controls. I don't know if I confused you, but you will figure it out using it for a while. Just remember that the control schemes are different. They're not going to be a make it or break it factor, you just gotta be aware of it. In terms of sizes, the 7 Hyperbase and the 2 are the bulkiest earphones. They do stick out of your ears quite a bit. Some people might not like it, I personally don't care. And the TWS 1 and TWS 3 Plus have kind of a AirPods style design. Not to say they are clones or ripoffs, they're not at all, but they do have the similar aesthetic of earphones that stick out downwards a little bit, so that's good. And the TWS 5 Pros do have kind of that AirPods design, but it actually is more reminiscent of, say, the AirPods Pro with rubber ear tips rather than the earbud design that some people don't like and some people like. In terms of build quality and materials, I have to say that the 5 Pros and 7 have obviously the best build quality, but the 2 is a good solid third place, with the TWS 1 and TWS 3 Plus having the worst build quality. It's not to say that it's really bad or anything, it's just that the plastic does feel a bit light and feel a bit cheap on the 1 and the 3 Plus, especially the 3 Plus. I think this is because they chose to go with the very pretty glossy design, and it's more of an aesthetic decision which resulted in sacrificing build quality here. So form versus function, it really is up to you. The 3 Plus does look really pretty with its bright colors, but it does have lousier build quality than the rest because of that, so it's kind of a pro and con. And yeah, since we're on the topic of design, for me personally, my favorite looking case is obviously the 7 and the 5 because they're the clean aesthetic look that I prefer. But if you like bright colors, the 3 Plus is there and all that. Okay, let's conclude this comparison there. I think I've covered most of the bases, from sound quality to accessories to battery life to comfort and of course to design and build quality. I've covered it all, and this should give you a general idea of the differences between the different models in Sonicgear's 5 earphone lineup. But I have to add this as kind of an editor's note at the end. If you are someone who's buying a pair of wireless earphones, you're probably shopping based on budget first, rather than anything else. At least that's what I've noticed. Because if you didn't have a budget, you'll probably just go and buy a pair of AirPods Pro if you're using an iPhone, or a pair of Sonys if you're spending like a bunch of money. But those earphones are like $300+, and I think that's where Sonic Gear comes in with a range of more budget-friendly options from $30 to $110 with these earphones. And for me, I think the best way to shop for a piece of technology is not just to compare a earphone with other models in its range, but also to compare it with other models at its price range from other brands. So I recommend you do that to make the right purchasing decision. Yes, this video is a video about products that were sent to me, but I am here to give you a fair review and fair advice. So my recommendation is this: pick the two models that fit your price range. Say you've got $90 to spend on a pair of wireless earphones, pick the TWS 3 and the 5 Pros and compare those with not just with each other, but with other earphones of different price ranges. I can't give particular recommendations because, you know, I don't know any earphones in that price range that are good, but my recommendation is to take those and compare it with earphones, at least on the spec sheet, at least on review level of things, with other earphones in their price range, and not just among each other. But this video is probably a good starting point to see what you might need and what you might not need in each of these earphones, and hopefully it was a help to you. And if it was, then please subscribe, like, all that good stuff to show, you know, to say thanks and all that stuff. And definitely subscribe, because my in-depth review for all these earphones, there are going to cover a lot of the details with these earphones, telling you the exact value that I see in them and whether you should buy them or not. And I'll be comparing every single one of these earphones to multiple choices in their price range. Subscribe for the full-on review. I hope this comparison was either entertaining, enjoyable, or helpful to you. If you did, definitely hit like, subscribe. Once again, I'ma head out now. See you soon. Oh, I need to react to some comments from the last week. So I have recently had some conversation with Peter J. Albert, awesome video buddy, all that stuff. You messaged me on Instagram expressing your support. I just want to say thank you at the end of this video. So thank you, Peter J. Albert. Thank you very much. Thanks, Turtleneck Tech, for your support on my videos. You watch this video and stay at home day one. Hope you're well. Hope your quarantine isn't too bad. I wish you all the best. Hi Mazum, whoever you are, keep making these. I always learn of new tech through these tech videos. Maybe take 200 vids. Basically, it just says a bunch of like an inspirational, I guess, we got stuff to motivational stuff. Thank you for your support, that's for sure. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you continue to support this channel. Awesome Jojo talking about how I'm back on keyboards, and that's absolutely right. I never left. Always do keyboard videos, and I will continue to do keyboard videos. So if you are looking for that kind of content, stay tuned. To Valaric Hung, what's up? Thanks for the sub. Thanks for the support. To Crimson Lux, thanks for the fact that my review helped you out a lot. I love these earphones. They're really, really good as well. The Black Dot Touch Pros. I'm going to be comparing them to the TWS 2s. It's actually a very tight race between these two earphones. They're both actually very exciting. Alright, that's the end of the video. I'm gonna head out seriously this time. See you soon. Bye.